And for this segment of Chaplaincy Alive, we are very fortunate to have Patty Berron, who is a disaster mental health responder with the Red Cross with Hurricane Harvey in Houston. Patty is a convener of the Dallas CPSP chapter and also a board-certified clinical chaplain and pastoral counselor. And we are going to talk with her today about her work that she's been doing with Hurricane Harvey. Hi, Patty. How are you today?
I'm really good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved and how things are going.
Okay. Well, I'm involved with the Red Cross since I was a little girl with my mom. We moved from Chicago to Monterrey, Mexico, and over there I get involved. My mom was a nurse. My older sister was a nurse. When I went back to the States, I get involved, and I'm instructor trainer also. And I always volunteer on disasters. Once I have all my trainings and everything for mental health, I get involved in disaster and translating all the information from English to Spanish. And it's what we're doing right now. We prepare all the time. And we do trainings to help people to be prepared to respond in case of disasters. At the same time, we work during disaster time and after the disaster time to help them to get together their lives. And it's a huge need for volunteers right now in all the areas. If anybody wants to be a volunteer, they just can go to redcross.org and they can do it's a little window for volunteers, and these are different areas that you can choose to volunteer. If you don't find something that you like you can create your own one. I know a lot of people is calling me from different churches and different organizations asking me how can they do that. We have a lot of people, they provide clothing, and my recommendation is to divide it for children, infants, adults, females, males, females. And we need a lot of things like diapers, water, toileting items, of course, food that is not perishable, and money. The best way to provide the money is go directly to the webpage, redcross.org, or you can do a text message related to the Red Cross, and they donate like $10. There's different organizations that are donating money. If you, for example, you go to Kroger and on the stores, you can make a donation. Some organizations, if you buy their items, they donate like a 20% or something, whatever they receive. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Pizza Hut, they are donating like contributions, different ways according with the expenses that they receive it. And right now, for example, on the Dallas Convention Center, we have more than 3,000 people. That we provide more than 10,000 foods every day. And of course, we try to divide it according to the needs that they have. And we have people who have special needs, disabilities, something like that, need children, older people. And also we have a partnership for pets, because a lot of the survivors, they also have their pets, and the organization related with in Dallas animals, they have a contract to help them, and it's a very inspiring situation. A lot of my role right now with this disaster is to translate the blogs from English to Spanish, to translate from the people who wants to volunteer from English to Spanish also, and some of the information, plus not just the survivors, but the workers. Workers, it's a lot of stress. We work, for example, in shifts from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It's a lot of things to do. And the workers, they also need some mental health services, and it's what we want to provide in all these areas.
So how does it feel, Patty, to be on the ground there? What does it feel like when you first arrived there?
Well, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming in all different areas. I also have people who, on my own home, I shelter because they need it. But the good thing is that the community is responding. We have a lot of volunteer people from the community, different organizations, small business, they are responding. And that way makes the people to feel that they are not alone.
Yeah.
And that is very important, because like I will always say, you never know when a disaster can come to your area. It doesn't matter how educated you are, how much money you have, how healthy you think you are, but the disaster can come and take everybody. And this is a time to get united. It's a time to show that we care. And it's always the time to show that we love.
And you have been feeling that. From just watching television accounts, it looks like everyone has really come together to help
Yes.
one another in this. And you saw that and felt that way?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And these different organizations besides the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, FEMA, and all these organizations, they are working together. And it's the best way to do it, because it really is when we can show that we are a community. It doesn't matter where you live or what is the origin and all the stuff. And we also are preparing right now for Irma. Okay, that is the different hurricane is helping already to prepare for Puerto Rico people, the Virgin Islands and Miami. And it's a huge need. Also, we have some shelters in Louisiana. There's a lot of people working over there, and small towns besides Houston. Sometimes they don't receive so much news on the media, but we are there, and we are helping in different ways, medications and all that stuff.
It did look to me that there was a cross diversity of people who had been impacted in Houston. It didn't seem rich or poor. It wasn't like, downtown areas. Remember in New Orleans how it hit some of the poorer neighborhoods more disastrously. But this was really citywide, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, yes. It's really a warning also to have everybody prepare, because like human behavior, we always think that never is going to happen to me. It can happen to somebody else, but not to me. And when the crisis or the strike on your neighborhood, or you are part of that, then it's amazing. You react and say, oh my God, it's a different feeling. And it's important to be prepared. We provide trainings for prepare in case of disasters. And we have it on the internet. You can go just to retro.org, different trainings, preparedness, and that helps you to be prepared also to know what to do in case of disaster once you are in that situation. And after the disaster, it's a lot of help also. And that's what we are seeing. Right now in Dallas, we are receiving a lot of families in different areas, but we know if they decide to go back to their area, it's gonna be difficult for them. For the children, for example, school is when right now it starts school, to have their uniforms and to have a new school, different environment. And with the crisis that they are not living at home, but so in a shelter where there's not privacy, really, they share everything. They also, I always focus on children, because a lot of people, they don't know what to do with children disaster time, but they have a lot of needs also that we need to meet those needs.
Well, it's very traumatizing. Their entire world has changed in one day.
Oh, yes.
Their school, their neighborhood, their friends, there's nothing that's the same. For a child, that's very frightening, I'm sure.
Yes, and what we try to do is to keep some routines with them, for them to be playful, to be enjoyable, but if they see their family members with them, it's the best comfort that they can have. And to have nice people around them, to be playful, to have some games, make it easy for them to deal with that kind of situations.
So you're a very big believer in donations to the Red Cross.
Yes.
The money is used well, and people are taken care of with that money. And tell us a little bit about how the Red Cross goes about moving into a disaster.
Okay, right now, what they are doing, every dollar, they divided 90 cents is extremely directly to disaster time. The rest is really to cover all the expenses that we have in gasoline, transportation, hotels, and food for the responders. And everything is really invested in what the people is putting their heart on. And I see this for years. I've been right here with the Red Cross in the United States for more than 30 years, and I see how we responded. That is what keep me going all the time, because their heart is in a place.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm sure a lot of people watching are glad to know how to help. And this is a really good thing to know. You've been with them 30 years and you believe in them and what they do. And that's great encouragement. When you don't feel like you can really help from where you are, you can always help by giving to the Red Cross, is what you're saying.
Oh, yes. And then there are different ways that, like, sometimes I think, okay, how can I help the best way possible? And right now we need a lot of translators. We need a lot of translators to one-to-one, face-to-face to help in different areas. And of course, somebody to listen to them, their pain, and to comfort them. You don't need to volunteer 24/7. Sometimes just 1 hour can make a huge difference in somebody else's life. You can give them a hug and make them feel that somebody's there for them.
So the mental health response team that you're on, how do you receive training for that? If there are chaplains out there listening or lay people who would like to be a part of that mental health team, how do you go about becoming qualified to do that?
Okay, like I say, in the volunteer area on the internet, you can put what is your resume, and then you have some trainings. We provide for mental health first aid training. We provide resilience training, and we have more than 4,000 mental health professionals. They are licensed. You need to be licensed on your state, and that way you can provide the best way possible trainings and services to the community where you are. If for any reason you don't have those trainings, the Red Cross provides the training for you for free and prepares you according with the situation, because it's not just a mass disaster. On a daily basis, we have fires or some disaster related with some small communities or families, and they need your help on a daily basis, not just during a mass disaster time. Then there's always something to do in different ways. And
you're preparing for Irma?
Oh, yes.
And are there other storms coming after that, I think I heard?
Yes, Jose is behind Irma. It's another one on the Gulf of Mexico, but it's much south than the United States. That is going to go for the area where I grew up, Monterrey, Mexico, not the area of the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, and even the Red Cross from Mexico help us. Right now, they bring a lot of food and materials and money to help us. It's one of the good things that I really encourage the people, because it doesn't matter what is the country that you are. The training that we have from the Red Cross is a standard. It doesn't matter you don't speak the same language. You know what to do according to the situation. And I also provide first aid and CPR training to use the AED, and I provide different kind of trainings with the Red Cross. And that is the basic. We know what to do according to the situation.
Patty, that's very encouraging. That is just wonderful to hear that all of you are there on-site mental health professionals to help these people who must be so stressed and afraid and not really knowing what the future is, and there's someone there to care about that and to be with them in it. Is there anything you would like to tell folks out there?
If you really are interested, I think you can do the first step. Just go to redcross.org, look for volunteer areas and volunteer. I also give blood. Okay, you can give blood, give some donations. There is a lot of things that you can do besides to be at home. And sometimes just to put some toys on a plastic bag or blankets, okay? Make a phone call and put family and friends together. Sometimes because they don't have the appropriate telephones, they lose it on the whole thing. and they are disconnected. They don't know if the families are alive or not, or where they located. Then we try to put it together, and that way they can feel peace. The families are okay in different situations. Also, in the Red Cross, you can go, you have a smartphone. We have a lot of different apps for shelters, to give blood donations, and also for tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. Even we have a first aid for pets. If you have a pet, you can have it there, and it's free.
That is so fabulous, and I'm so glad to hear you talk about all of this. You see the images on television, but it's great to hear your voice and know that there are people out there helping, and the ways that we can help too out here. Thank you so much, Patty Berron, for all you do for CPSP and for the Red Cross and for all those folks in Houston. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. I really appreciate it.